away. I wait around. Do 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 do. Like some little kid who's overgrown. What is up, everybody? Alright, I hope that this is all good. It's been so long since I've done this, and I don't even know if anyone's going to show up. But I'm not going to get discouraged. I'm not going to not hold out hope that people will show up. Let's just hope for the best. I'm going to do this, making sure that we are online, because sometimes it actually has gotten away from me and I haven't been online and I've done this. It is the most embarrassing thing. So I'm just gonna wait for people to get in here, hopefully sometime soon. I don't usually do these anymore, but sometimes it's fun to do streams every now and then. I know it's a little late at night on a Saturday, and maybe I think Geekdom was also going to do this, but I hadn't seen anything related to it. Oh, yeah, he's live now as well, so people might be showing up at his and not really at mine. But if you're in here, just chat with me. Let's talk Dragon Ball. I appreciate anyone who's here and not at Geekdom's stream, but I can tell you this: if you wanted to chat in my stream, I'm definitely going to be able to talk to you more than Geekdom will, because his just fly by. When you have over 1,000 people in the stream, it's crazy. But no insult to him. I mean, holy crap, that's awesome. Always really cool. But I haven't done a stream in a while, so I thought I would do it. What is up? Leadered. What's with me? Sorry, it's been a long day. Ramos, is it Ramos? I don't know if I've said that right. What's up, man? How are you? Dragon Ball Super Broly, right? That's what we're talking about. We're talking about the movie. We're talking about the series. We're just talking about anything in general. Hey mate, how's it going? What's up, guys? Hi, yo. What do you guys want to talk about? Always awesome to have people in the stream to chat about whatever. All right, man. I will. But guys, what is it? What do you want to talk about? It's always nice to do these streams live every now and then, just to kind of have fun and talk to you guys about one thing or another, Dragon Ball related or life related. I also, on my other channel, cover a lot of other different things, so if you want to talk about that, that's fine. I'm not expecting a lot of people to be in here today. I mean, I don't usually draw a huge crowd, but sometimes these are fun just to do. So as much fun as it is to hear everyone say, hey, what's up? I appreciate it. But let's, one thing I actually did? So it will be on my channel and talk about Broly versus Jiren. I will do that in a second. But I just got done with a video that's probably going to be on my channel tomorrow. I hope you guys enjoy it. I was with Karthu's Dojo. Guys, 50-minute, it was like a 40 something minute video, and we talked about whether or not the movie's going to end in a cliffhanger, and Karthu threw out a cliffhanger ending to me that I just think is freaking perfect and is in the video. You should definitely go check it out. No spoilers from me here, but this is definitely a personal, like one of my personal favorites from a while. Like, this is a good discussion video, so I can't wait for you guys to hear it. So let's get right into the chat and we'll just jump into it. Okay, talk about Broly versus Jiren. So one of the things they've been talking about pretty recently with Dragon Ball Super is the fact that Broly might be stronger than Jiren. He might be the strongest person Goku and Vegeta have ever faced. And I don't know whether I really like that. One of the things that really got my blood boiling about the trailer, as much as I love Dragon Ball, is Dragon Ball Super had this really obnoxious story element to it where it was like, okay, Hit, Kale, Caulifla, Kaba, Jiren, Frieza, everybody that they fought was able to advance in such a strong and independent and quick way that they they overtook Goku and Vegeta very quickly in a fight. Like in that specific fight, as much as Goku and Vegeta would push themselves above the limit, they were always fighting someone who would be able to rise above that. And I'm not really sure I like that in its own right. I didn't like the fact that Hit could do it, but it made sense. I didn't like the fact that Zamasu can do it, but it made sense. I didn't like the fact that Frieza did it, but it kind of made sense. I really wish that they would figure out a way to have Broly be very strong in this, whatever his main power level actually was, in a way where he was able to hide his power and never really became much of a threat until now situation. But that doesn't seem to be the case. They're making him grow, learn, and transform during this fight, probably for the first time, and I'm not really sure I like that. But yeah, like as far as what they've said, and I know it's the hype machine, the hype train, trying to bring us all to a really interesting or a really excited moment for the movie. I think that they're promoting Broly to be stronger than Jiren, and based on what we've seen in the movie, it might be the case. So Goku can't beat him. I don't think that they're going to bring back Ultra Instinct like everyone else. I don't think that Goku and Vegeta are going to fuse like a lot of people. I don't think that Frieza is going to be the deciding factor like he was in the Tournament of Power, or they're going to bring in 17 and 18 or anybody else to fight this guy. It's going to be Goku and Vegeta, and either Goku's going to pull it out at the very end, or Goku is not going to win, which is possible, which I think would be awesome, and something that Carthu and I talked about in our video. So I'm not sure. It's going to be really interesting to find out, though. Let's jump into another one of these discussions. Broly's tail. I got that from two different people. I want to talk about Broly's tail. Broly. Are you talking about the? I'm sorry. The one thing I always hear, I try to get to every single comment, but I take these long-winded rants because I like to talk to whatever question anyone says, one way or the other. I want to address it in the most lively way possible. So, Broly's tail. I think you're talking about Broly's tail in the flashback that we saw, where it looks like him and Paragus have tails, or at least the Saiyan looking like Kaba type of person actually has a tail. It's possible that it just got removed. It's possible that it was kind of too dangerous to have him have a tail, and whatever moon came along, or whatever planet they're staying on, Paragus had to take it off, even though it kind of hurt him to do it, because Broly is just so strong. Or maybe even would be kind of cool, and I might even do a video on this now that I'm just thinking about it, but what if Broly actually what if Broly was a Super Saiyan? The first time he turned into a Super Saiyan, he couldn't control it the same way that Vegeta talked about it back on Namek. And he was like, hey, Broly's here. He turned into a Super Saiyan. So he turned into a Super Saiyan, but he was only able to control it through the Azaru form. So Paragus had to actually cut it off. That's why Paragus knows and is able to make the technology in order to control Broly, because he doesn't want any of that to happen again. But he believes that because he cut off the tail, at least for the most part, Broly's main power is kind of away from him, the same way that Vegeta thought Goku losing his tail, or Raditz thinking Goku lost his tail, was a big blow to his power, even though that doesn't seem to be the case. And maybe we're informed that much in the movie, and even learn that if they get rid of their tails, they have more potential. I mean, there's a lot of stuff to unpack there, because I haven't really ever thought of anything like that before. But I like that idea, actually. I like that a lot, because it allows Goku and Vegeta and Broly and all this other stuff to kind of showcase their power through the tails, and then without the tails, and I don't know, like being like actually exploring that that idea of what happens when they lose their tails versus how strong they get with the tails, and a way of Paragus understanding his son's strength and trying to control it with the mind control device, and even taking off his son's tail despite robbing him of that power, at least in his thought. So I don't know, it's really up there. It could be either way. As much as I enjoy Dragon Ball, what else do you enjoy? So if you haven't already, it's on my front page. You can jump over there whenever you want. I have another channel called Real Talk, REEL Talk, where I discuss horror movie franchises, specifically the Saw franchise, The Walking Dead. I also talk about Creed or Rocky, from time to time. I'm going to be covering the new Purge television show. I cover that that series sometimes, and I'm going to be talking about American Horror Story on there. Really everything that I love. I also really love box office stuff. I am a sucker for everything movie related, and especially movie business related. I don't cover that nearly as much as I should on that channel because it's something I love so much and something that requires a lot of forethought and knowledge and hard to really kind of condense in one simple discussion. Unless you're talking with someone in a long form discussion podcast or something like that, which I don't know very many people who can do that or are interested in that at all. So if you are, contact me on Twitter. I've been looking for someone. I've been looking for someone to do a podcast with about box office stuff. I will definitely jump on that. If you're a box office junkie, you love going on Box Office Mojo, Box Office Pro, you read Scott Mendelson on Forbes or thenumbers.net or any of these other things that I've been reading for years, contact me. I will jump at that opportunity because it's something that I absolutely want to do, and it's something that I would love to just build from the ground up, because that was something that really got my interest. I remember Box Office Mojo had a podcast back in 2007, and cheers to anyone who's here. Not that there's many people here, but cheers to anyone who's here who remembers that and was really interested in it like I was at the time, but they had to stop for budgetary reasons. And I always thought, man, if I found someone who liked it as much as I did, I would actually do the same thing because it's really interesting in my opinion. But let's move back on to something related to Dragon Ball. I'm just sorry to get on that little tangent, but like I said, I like to get on tangents because I like to answer as much questions and as thoroughly as possible because not a lot of people show up here, and I think you deserve to have your question answered. But I'll try to go a little bit faster now because people start asking and I get super behind, so let's just do that. All right. As far as it after the Tournament of Power and Goku and Vegeta get astronomically stronger, why would Frieza even think to challenge him? Forget about Broly in this equation. I don't know. It's one of the things that I'm really worried about with his character. I don't like the idea that Frieza keeps making the same mistake by going to Earth and challenging Goku and Vegeta at every given chance, even if he gets stronger. It's really obnoxious, and it's a huge mistake in his character that we've seen him make multiple times. Frieza to me is the type of character that needs to stay evil. Yes, that's one of the things that most of the fan base agrees on, but you can't just be evil and dumb. If you're going to keep him around, he has to actually grow and be smarter with every single thing that he does. And yes, when they first introduced him, yeah, he kind of was. I mean, he got brought back after Namek. He wanted to go torture Goku. He thought he could with King Cold and everything on his favor, but Trunks came out of nowhere. So there was a lot of tension there, and the fact that he did the exact same thing in Fukkatsu no F was a little annoying, but at least he got a power up. But now he's doing the exact same thing, and it hasn't been enough time since the Tournament of Power, regardless of whether Broly is stronger than Goku and Vegeta, especially with the tournament or the trailer giving us an indication that Broly's learning during the fight and isn't as strong as Goku and Vegeta actually are. It's obnoxious to me. Like it's too much of the same mistake, and I'm not thrilled with it. Sorry, that was quite a rant on my opinion. You're saying really to something I don't know what you're saying really to. Hello, hi, really. How did Zamasu and Goku Black timeline meet Goku and Black? Goku, if Goku Black was the reason Goku and Zamasu from the main timeline met each other. I don't know. I never understood it, and I'm not happy about it, but whatever. Anyway, hey, that's a new Super Saiyan. Hey, that's the new Super Saiyan legend. Hey, stop. Wow, this guy, Gerald Gamer 872. This is I don't know if you guys can go through the comments, but he's like, hey, that's a new Super Saiyan legend, ? Motherfucker, bitch, asshole creator. Hey, stop talking. That's not going to pull you any favors. I don't know what you're doing. Maybe it was blocking you for some reason. I don't know. But I was just getting down to it. So I don't know if he's still in the chat or whether he left. But, I mean, it was blocking you. I didn't do anything about it. That was just permanent. I showed your thing, so whatever, man. Tell me not to stop talking. This is my stream. You can get out if you want. I don't know. If Jiren and Topo were one character, like you theorize, what kind of personality would you get? Would you get exactly? I don't know. I don't know why you couldn't have it be both ways. Like Topo, if it's Topo and Jiren, you have a guy who was taken out. Everyone, not strong enough, needs to get stronger, and now he's just at the pinnacle where instead of being the person who is the bodyguard for the gods and being the next god of destruction, he's just like the candidate, like someone that Belmont and Margarita and everyone in Universe 11 is looking to. Like, this guy's gonna be the guy, and he's just like, nah, I'm not gonna be the guy. Like, I just want to do my own thing, blah blah blah, power and justice and blah blah blah. Like, I think you could have done that. I don't think that robs Topo or Jiren too much from the story if you just merge those two personalities and you have Topo just being a little less zealous about his place in the universe, right? And he's going to he wants to be stronger, he wants to give justice, everything that both those characters wanted to do, but he just hadn't committed at this point to being a part of the God of Destruction tier. And during the fight with Goku, because Goku gets Ultra Instinct and Goku is so much stronger than him, he finally does give himself up to the God of Destruction tier, and he allows himself to awaken that power in him, regardless of what mythology or whatever precedent that would set for how that process actually works. I think that would be pretty cool. Like, Ultra Instinct brings out the God of Destruction in Topo or Jiren or whoever you merge those characters into, and then that character itself learns a major lesson from Goku and realizes his place in his own universe and the fact that he could be a God of Destruction and he can kind of live simultaneously with everything else the same way Beerus does. And that way you kind of have a full circle thing where Goku starts off fighting Beerus and finding Beerus as a mentor and then mentoring a God of Destruction in that last fight of the series. I think that would have worked pretty well in my opinion. So I mean, I don't know. It could work. It could not work. I just feel like Jiren, to me, feels like a tacked-on character. Yes, it's kind of cool, but it's really generic and really half-assed in terms of, oh, like, this is something that works for us. Just throw it in there and don't really think about it too much because this guy's just there to look cool and muscular, and he's going to break the fourth wall in terms of his own power, like literally shattering the screen in front of you. So I'm not really sure. It's just one of those things. Anyway, I need to stop. Stop going on my own little freaking chats. All right, where is my boy Krillin in these trailers? I don't think he's in the movie. That's a sad thing. Like Gohan, Krillin, all these people aren't in the movie. I feel like Gohan needs to be in it, but I know a lot of people think that as well. I hope that Broly isn't this shallow or generic character. I don't think he's going to be. I think he's going to be way more of a sympathetic character than he was in the original movie. I think he's actually going to love, and Geekdom and I did a video about this recently, that I think he's actually going to love Paragus, and Paragus is going to teach him a lot about Saiyan history and Saiyan pride, and when Paragus dies in the movie, that's what's going to be the thing that sets him off and turns him legendary Super Saiyan. It's not going to be like, oh, I just lose all sense of myself and I don't even care about my father or anything else like that because I'm a Saiyan, I'm legendary, and yada yada yada, like it was in the first movie. I think it needs to be Broly being absolutely... he has to be like sympathetic. He has to be the same thing that Kale is, and when he gets into a rage mode, that's when he's kind of uncontrollable. But I still think he needs to figure out a way to learn who he is. Like he needs to control his power by the end of the movie, because I don't think they're going to kill him off and they're going to need to save him for something in the future. So if he can learn how to control that power the same way that Kale did in the Tournament of Power, then I think it's really beneficial for them. Is Geekdom a bigger fan? I'm sorry, guys. Is Geekdom a bigger fan of Frieza or Super Mega Frieza? I don't know. I don't know. You're gonna have to ask that question of him on his live stream. I don't know if he's doing it still, but I know he was doing it when I started. Unreal Entertainment Gaming actually made a theory that Paragus created an artificial moon and Broly became an Ozaru. Not to say they will happen, just mentioning it. Interesting. I mean, it's possible, but like I said in the beginning of this stream, not that I'd ever thought about it before. I hadn't heard anyone talking about it, but about Broly's tail and where to go. I think it would be really interesting if Paragus was the one who cut it off, especially when Paragus is going to be the oldest Saiyan that we've met in the actual timeline, and he's one, like Raditz and everyone else before him, thinking or should think that losing the tail robs you of your power, but in a different way, seeing the destructive capability of Broly, maybe turning into an Ozaru or a golden Ozaru, the same way that Vegeta was theorizing or speculating or talking about the history or these stories that he heard about as a child about the first Super Saiyan. I know that stuff. I don't remember if that stuff is in the manga or not, but it might be only in the anime. But a direct reference to that, and Paragus cuts off his tail because Broly's not going to kill his own father the same way that Goku or Gohan didn't want to hurt anyone that he actually loved in those old-time movies. So Paragus cuts off his tail, Broly reverts to his base form, and in his like human form, not his Ozaru form, and you think, okay, well, I see his power, his potential, and everything else. It scares me, so I need to be able to control this guy, so here's your mind control device and everything else like that. But I did kind of rob my son of his massive potential, and that kind of destroys me as a father, especially someone who loves my own Saiyan upbringing and heritage and believes that our tails are the strength of our power, like the source of our power. Talk about melodrama, but that would be cool. I think that would be really cool. Should I watch Arrowverse TV show, especially Arrow? I don't know. I feel like so I was talking about I don't watch it myself. I've watched a couple of it. I watched a couple of Arrow. I've watched a couple of Supergirl. I think they're both pretty good shows, but you should talk to D-Free about that. He watches those, I think. I'm not sure if he still does, but he did like a year ago. And I'm actually really excited about Ruby Rose playing Batwoman in that movie, in that television series. In fact, maybe even getting her own television shows. Ruby Rose is awesome, and any way that I can support her, and it literally, I will watch that crossover, and if they give her a show, I will watch that show because she's just so awesome. So I'm excited about that. Hello, Real to Real. How are you? I'm good. I've just been talking for the last couple minutes. I'm surprised we got 15 people in here. I'm happy about that. I hope everyone's having a fantastic day. Cheers to everyone coming out and spending their time with me. I hope I get to your question, and even if I don't, if you have time to leave or you're gonna just go at some point, then leave your question, come back to it later, and skip around, try to find where you left it. Versus where I'm talking about. I'm sure I'll get to it before I go, especially since there's not a lot of people in here. I'm not getting a lot of comments, so I'm going to just try to get through all of them, and once I kind of catch up, then I'll end this. We'll talk about like an hour or something, so we'll see. I also wanted to have a Namekian character in the Tournament of Power, like a guy who absorbed everyone in his race. He would be from Quitella's universe. But didn't the Namekians in the Tournament of Power already do that? I mean, like, I feel like that, even though it wasn't really expressed heavily, oh, these characters did this, and it wasn't made really that dramatic, they still did that, and we need to be okay with that. Like, these characters are fused. Goku and Gohan and Piccolo fought them. They got kicked out. They tried their best with what they had, and they sacrificed a great deal in order to fight in the Tournament of Power. I think that was a really good story plot point, but they didn't have enough time to actually show it in such a way. So I agree with you. It would have been cooler for another universe, but we already knew that the Namekians could do that, and I'm really glad that they brought that back in a real big way. So I'm fine with what they did. but it would have been interesting if they did it with another universe or another species that we weren't anticipating. And it was really played off a lot more dramatically than it was with Universe 6. But Universe 6 got too much shine in various other places, and the Namekians to me always felt like an afterthought, so that was probably part of the problem I had. Okay. I know your future Gohan arc was a pitch, but how do you think the arc Boo, the arc Boo arc, and most importantly the Black arc would change unless your pitch was meant to be the final of Dragon Ball in general? So yeah, a lot of people got on to me about the whole Gohan or future Gohan arc, and like this happens the same way it does in the show. Well, my thing was, at least in that, was okay. This is Gohan, this is future Gohan playing out and trying to maneuver around his emotional connection to the various people in his life, especially after having to go back in time and staying back in time and not just simply going back into the future like Trunks did. He had an emotional reason to stay behind, and there was a break in the whole Son Goku Bulma brief. I know her last name isn't brief, but you know what I mean. I don't know how many people follow that problematic situation on the Twitter sphere, but Goku and Bulma's family separating or being cut short because Gohan actually led to the death of Trunks because he couldn't protect him, but he was training him to be a Super Saiyan, because Trunks, at least in my pitch, showed a type of emotional anger that Gohan just simply couldn't bring out, or wasn't part of Gohan's actual character in this pitch, that would allow him to beat the androids, and Gohan thought he could foster that into something much better than he actually could fight the androids, and he was staying peaceful, which kind of allowed him to not Zenkai into a point where he could actually beat the Saiyans in his own right. So it was really about showing his relationship with Goku and Piccolo and Vegeta, and showing how he relied on Goku, and then he relied on Piccolo, and he relied on Vegeta, and then he realized that he had to just kind of learn lessons from all of them and be his own man, at the same time that his younger self in the same story is learning to be his own man and step up to the challenges that he faces in the way that he couldn't as a child. So it's like there's a lot there, but to really answer the question, I feel like no, I don't know what a Boo arc would be. I don't really want to recreate the Boo arc, because as much as everyone hates that arc, I actually really like it. It's super dramatic. It's super fun to know that Gohan, Goten, Trunks, Goku, Vegeta, all these fusions and everything else is given an appropriate amount of shine. I love Gohan's relationship with Videl. I've really grown into that arc and loved it more as I've gotten older. In fact, I would actually argue in a very real sense that it's my favorite arc in all of Dragon Ball Z, because the thing that I loved about Dragon Ball Z, or the thing that was sold to me in the Western culture that Dragon Ball Z actually was when I was younger, was, I think, best realized in the Boo arc. You had Ultimate Super Saiyans, Ultimate Power, Ultimate Fights, like all this other stuff that was just so ridiculous, and it wasn't really story driven at all, just melodramatic character moments from wall to wall for literally 90 episodes, and that was years worth of entertainment for me. I miss those days. I miss going home to watching the Boo arc, because I really appreciate it now. When I got back to rewatching the entire series, I just absolutely ate that crap up. I wanted to watch it more and more. Plus, best fights in the series. I mean, you got Goten versus Trunks. That's a great fight. That's a fantastic fight. One of the best tournament fights we've gotten in a long time, even counting Dragon Ball Super. And then you have Goku versus Vegeta, which is also a really awesome fight. But Vegeta versus Super Boo, or Gotenks versus Boo, or Ultimate Gohan just going in and destroying Super Boo or Boo or whatever his name is. Like, there's so many awesome scenes in that arc, and I think it gets a huge bad rep. And literally, to go back and answer your question, I don't have a rewrite for that arc. It was intended to be a final, but one thing I will do in the future, and I've been working with Kanji, World King Kanji, World King Kanji, whatever you want to say. We've been working on developing a story for Janemba, what if Janemba was the last person in the arc, and Janemba was the person who came back and actually closed out the entirety of Dragon Ball? And so we're reworking the Buu arc to be a Janemba arc and jumping off of probably the same story, or it could be part of the main story and just replacing Buu instead of replacing Trunks in general or whatever. It could be anything you want, but that's what we've been working on. So, man. Live streams always get to me because I end up going on these big old rants, and I get kind of long-winded, and I forget to breathe sometimes. But let's do do not disrespect this man in his stream. Hey, we talked about the Jurassic World franchise before the release of Jurassic World 2 Fallen Kingdom. Your take on Jurassic World was that you didn't really like it. What's your take on the second one? Okay, I'll be very quick on this. I really like the second one. I love Jurassic World 2 Fallen Kingdom. It was fun. I think it's the best sequel in the entire franchise. Better than 2, better than 3, definitely better than 4. And I cannot wait to see where they go with the third one. The third one, at least in my humble opinion, is I think the best pitch for an entire, like, for the end of a trilogy, for the sequel in the last decade. It's so cool. I can't wait to see what happens and how they explore this a little bit more. I can't even explain it. Maybe when I was a little bit fresher on the whole movie, I could have explained it more, why I like Jurassic World so much. But that to me was a very nice movie, and I'm really appreciative of it. The one thing I hate about the next movie is that Colin Trevorrow is the one directing it. We'll see. We'll definitely see. I know a lot of people liked Jurassic World. A lot of people have kind of soured on it. I was always against it from the moment that I saw it. But I think that he is going to either prove himself or really make it clear that he wasn't the right man for the job in this movie. It wasn't Star Wars. It had to be this film. And he's either, I hope he's learned and grown as a director since the last film, because I felt like Jurassic World really didn't feel like his own vision. I don't think he had much control over it, and I think that even though they come out and say, oh, this was an intentional situation, this was an intentional product placement or something, and we're trying to make a commentary about the consumer culture, especially when it revolves around story or movie franchises and stuff, and Jurassic Park's a great way to do that, because it's a movie about a park. It's a movie about selling to consumers like the easiest thing that they want, but everyone wants something bigger and better than what they had the last time. I mean, that's the whole plot of that movie, and it just didn't work for me. It felt so tired and it felt so forced that I was not a fan of it. So I don't know. I like the second one. It was much better in my opinion. Everything worked in that film. Okay, I'm moving on. This was not about Jurassic World, but I appreciate talking about other subjects. 1 second. Okay, Mr. Fish versus Mr. Dim. I don't know. Greetings from Houston, Texas. Sorry, it jumped me over. It jumped me to a specific place. I know that always makes me mad, because I feel like I'm going to lose track of the comments and I'm not going to actually get to everyone's thing. The one thing I will really tell everyone, like I said earlier, if you like my streams and you really want me to get to your question, I know you want to have like a conversation. That's something I want to do as well. I can't get to everything very quickly, because I'm going to try to give as much time and energy to your question as possible, as well as I can, and for as long as I'm willing to. So if you really just want to like leave a comment, leave and come back tomorrow when this is just up for streaming and find your comment and my answer to it, that's totally fine. You can leave a comment at the video or whatnot. I don't want to keep anyone waiting, and I'm really sorry that I get behind on these things, but my intention is to get to everyone's comment and to answer all questions appropriately. If Chi told you to okay, I'm not gonna read that one. You can find it for yourself. I don't know what Chi would do. I don't know if Chi told me that, and I wouldn't say one way or the other. I want to see Broly and Kale. Okay, never mind. J Dog, man, J Dog has some interesting comments. I love it. I love it. All right. Uh, who do you think might show up as a cameo in Dragon Ball Super movie from another universe? You think Universe 6 Saiyans can be brought into the story here? If the Universe 6 Saiyans are going to be brought into the story at all, I think one of the things they could definitely do is whatever they introduce about the Saiyan history from Paragus, either on Planet Sadala or Planet Vegeta or anything else like that, they can give us an after credit scene where it kind of sets up the Planet Sadala arc, where they discover the corresponding or mirror universe equivalent to whatever it is Paragus brings out that helps Broly redeem his power or something else like that. That would be interesting in my opinion, but I'm not sure. I mean, it's a really good question. If anyone, the Saiyans from Universe 6 are going to be the ones who are in this movie, and I wouldn't be surprised if that is the case. I'm waiting for SSJ5 Yamcha. Me too, man. Me freaking too. Hi, Real. How are you? I am fantastic, man. SS77. I'm fantastic. Good stream. I'm very happy. I mean, seriously, guys, I'm so happy that, like, even just 19 people are here. I know there's so many other things that y'all could be doing at this point, and it's not always fun to sit here and listen to me answer other people's questions, especially when I don't get to yours very quickly. But I'm really appreciative, and I know that even Geekdom's streaming right now, and you could be over there, but you're here listening to this. It's really nice. I hope everyone's having a fantastic night, and hopefully we can do more streams like this in the future. I hope to do probably one a week going into the near future. I'm back home. I'm back in my own element right now, and I can actually make videos and put them out at a more consistent pace than I have been for the last couple of months, and that makes me excited. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, I've gotten a lot of comments about this. Oh, your channel's dying. It's like, well, I haven't been posting a lot recently, and that's a lot of personal reasons, and Dragon Ball hasn't been nearly as noteworthy as it has been, and there's just a lot of different reasons that is. But really, I'm just happy to be back. I'm happy to be back and putting out content and knowing that people are still around. They wanna still listen to whatever crazy theory or stupid pitch I have about this, that, or the other. It makes me feel good, and I hope you guys are still enjoying the content. That's really what I want. But yeah, I'm fine. Like I said, going to try to give as much credence to every thing as possible, but I won't go down certain rabbit holes like the ones I skipped upwards that y'all could find if you want, but I'm not going to answer it one way or the other. Paragus could sort of be the Khalifa of Broly's Kale, if that happens. Let me reread this. It says Paragus would sort of be the Khalifa to Broly's Kale if that happens. Yes, that would be cool. And I can definitely see that happening, and I feel like that is going to happen. One of the things they need to do in this movie that they didn't do in the original series of movies is make Paragus and Broly's relationship needs to be a good one. They need to actually really respect and like each other. If they don't, I'm kind of worried about what the future may have for the movie. I mean, that's too similar. Paragus can't simply be controlling his son. They need to actually appreciate each other and love each other and respect each other. So when Paragus actually does die, because we all know he's a goner, we don't know who's going to take him out, but I would bet Frieza would take him out. That's going to push Broly over the edge and actually make him Super Saiyan Legend or whatever they end up calling it. That's at least my opinion. If Vegeta finds out Beerus gave the order to blow up Planet Vegeta, would it be more character growth that Vegeta's not going to rage out and attack him? He instead trains for a while to pick his moment. Yes and no. When it comes to Vegeta learning Beerus gave the order, I did a pitch about this, and I really appreciate it if anyone would go and listen to it, because I actually really had a lot of fun making that, and it's one of the things I want to focus on more in the future is scripted, for the most part, scripted pitches of what Dragon Ball can do, or rewriting my Dragon Ball series, which I need to start up again, or something else like that. But anyway, I really want them to flip it on its head. One of the things I mentioned there is be interesting to me is you have Paragus and Broly being banished or left planet Vegeta for some time before Frieza actually ends up blowing it up. And because we already got confirmation in Super that Beerus was actually already there, and maybe he even had a running in with Broly, which gave him the idea of the Super Saiyans being a problem, and the Oracle Fish leading to him being like, oh yeah, Super Saiyan, you'll find a Super Saiyan God or something. He's like, oh yeah, okay, whatever. But Frieza, maybe you should just blow them up, because I don't really want anyone challenging me, because that's not what I want. That I put the Elder Kind in this sword for that. Like, I don't want anyone to kill anyone or be stronger than me than you are. I can at least hold on to you, and because you're never going to be that strong. Whatever. So anyway, Paragus and Broly leave because Beerus pisses them off, or Broly is so strong. King Vegeta is really kind of nervous about Broly's strength and that he might lash out against Beerus, so he ends up forcing them off the planet. They leave the planet, but they're still loyal to Frieza. They're still loyal to the Saiyan heritage and everything else like that. And they learn that planet Vegeta actually blows up. And there's this thought amongst the universe that it was a meteorite or something, but Paragus is like, no, it was the freaking god of destruction. Like, he's the one who did this, and I hate him. And when, as some people have suggested, Frieza is actually the one who comes across Paragus and Broly, and Paragus is still very loyal to him, so is Broly, and Frieza feels like, oh man, I actually have a way with these guys, and they're going to abide by me. And I just got out of the Tournament of Power and saw Kale, Caulifla, Kaba, Goku, and Vegeta, and Gohan, and all these Saiyans really break their limits. These guys would be an awesome army to have, so why don't we just bring back the Saiyan home world like this guy wants to, because I can actually use them in my army, and that would be a great way to take over the multiverse if I had a Saiyan army with unlimited potential. So he goes to Earth looking for his wish for the Tournament of Power Dragon Balls that he helped actually win the Tournament of Power, and Goku promised, but they're like, no, you're not going to do that. Paragus comes down, he's like, my prince, my king, we're going to push back the Saiyan homeworld. Planet, or Vegeta, or Frieza, blah, 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 is okay with this. Vegeta's like, no, I'm fine, I'm an Earthling now. Paragus sicks Broly on him. Broly takes down Vegeta, and we get all the flashback of Paragus believing Beerus actually blew up planet Vegeta, and Vegeta's like, no, like, what are you talking about? Like, Frieza's the one who blew up our planet. Like, you're completely misinformed, and that's what really, that's like a thing. It's ironic because we know that, something we've known for a really long time, but he doesn't, Paragus doesn't. So he's gonna be like, what? No, I've been serving the wrong person and everything else like this. So he turns against Frieza, but Frieza's so strong that he just kills Paragus because he doesn't matter. Broly's the one who matters, and Broly's the one who's easily mind controlled, as Paragus has been showing him this entire movie. So Frieza killing Frieza killing Paragus actually sets Broly off and turns Broly into a Super Saiyan God, or Super Saiyan destruction demon, legendary Super Saiyan, whatever. And that's why we get Broly versus Frieza late on the movie, where it looks like in the trailer. So wow, whatever got me on that freaking rant, I don't know, but that's my thought here is Frieza's gonna work with them. They think that Beerus is actually the one who blew up planet Vegeta, and that is the kicker. Everyone thinks that when Vegeta learns that Beerus ordered the destruction of planet Vegeta, it's going to really alter him. But what really happens is Vegeta doesn't care too much anymore, because he considers himself an Earthling with Bulma, Trunks, and Bra. I mean, he's really kind of turned over a new leaf. That's a major character development for him. There's no resentment or animosity there. But because Paragus is old guard, old Saiyan, the oldest one that we know in the major timeline, he's the one who's going to go out of his way to get really offended by the situation. And he's going to turn on Frieza, who's been tricking him the entire time. And one of the reasons Broly and Paragus actually end up teaming with Frieza at the very beginning. So I don't know. We're just going to have to wait and see, but that would be my pitch. So who's your favorite villain? Now I know this is weird, but my favorite villain in all of Dragon Ball is Janemba. I like Janemba so much. I don't know what I'm doing here. I don't know what that that little accent is. No, I really like Janemba. Janemba's a really cool villain because I feel like he's very strong and someone that I would really like to explore more, but he doesn't really have a whole lot of character that we need to explore. But what he brings to the world around him and everyone he can bring back to me is really interesting. And as I said earlier on in the stream, Kanji and I have been really trying to come up with a real story to tell for if Boo was actually Janemba and that arc revolved around those characters instead of Boo. What would happen there? How would it be told? And how would you deal with every single character shine moment? And I think we figured out something that's really special, and I can't wait to actually put that out there because everyone is going to lose their minds. It's be like, oh man, I wish this was the way they told this story, and I really do wish it was as well. Do you think Kale would be referenced in the movie? I just can't see how it's possible not to. I mean, they've set up the Tournament of Power, and Broly looks a lot like, or that transformation looks a lot like Kale, so they would have to. I mean, they would really have to, but we're just going to have to wait and see. I love that there are 2 streams at once. I'm literally watching both. I'm glad, man. I'm glad that you're listening to this. I really, like I said, I know a lot of people aren't going to go out of their way to watch my stream over Danny's, but the one thing I really hope that my stream can give people watching it, at the very least, is I will go out of my way to answer your questions to the best of my ability. And sometimes, and I've been a part of Danny's streams before, and it's nothing to do with his fault. But oh my gosh, I'm sorry. I got behind on some texts on my phone, but it's nothing to do with his fault. But, you know, he just has so many conversations and so many things going on that he can't keep up with everything. So he can't actually answer every single question that he gets, which is the selling point that I have, because not a lot of people actually come in and watch my stream, and I get very few questions in comparison, so I can actually answer them and I can take my time to actually talk about them. Second. All right, sorry. I had to answer a text. Arrow for sort of gone downhill in season 3, but season 5 is actually pretty dope in my opinion. Like I've been wanting to watch Arrow for the longest time. I just decided not to do it. LOL, left Geekdom stream immediately once I got the notification that your stream, just for the brilliant and wacky scenarios that you come up with. I really appreciate that. My thing, like, nothing I ever say is going to happen in Dragon Ball. Nothing I say will ever happen in Dragon Ball, but it's still so much fun to talk about, and that's what I really appreciate about the community, is that there's a portion of the community that really understands and appreciates that, and one of the things I absolutely love about you guys. Let's see. Do you have Rainbow Star Gene team yet? Jinwei team yet? No. Have you ever watched Yu Yu Hakusho? Yu Yu Hakusho is freaking GOAT. It's the GOAT of all animes. It's that I've watched it about 4 times all the way through. It's my favorite, and it never fails to make me cry. In fact, every single time I watch it, it makes me cry more than I watched it previously, because it's so melodramatic and it's so amazing. I mean, really, there's absolutely no, everyone talks about no consequences in Dragon Ball. There's absolutely no consequences in the Yu Yu Hakusho anime whatsoever. Like, nothing bad happens, but it's so good. It's so freaking good. The Dark Tournament is my favorite arc in all of anime, and I can't wait. I will watch it again. I own the whole thing. I will watch it again sometime in like the next year or so, because it's gonna be at that point like 3 or 4 years since I've watched it, and I need to watch it again. I need to watch that show every 4 years or so, something like that. What's your input on Bleach? So I've done a couple videos on Bleach. If you really want my input on Bleach, go to my channel. Should be pretty easy to find. I think it's like in a Bleach discussion playlist. I did like my discussions on Bleach, especially when it was ending in the manga format. I binge my way through all the manga after binging my way through the anime, and I really appreciated the show for what it's worth. And I really wanted to. I would like it to come back. I would like it to actually adapt the last part of the manga, but I don't know if that's ever going to happen. I would love to own all of it on Blu-ray, and I can't wait to actually have the money to do that, but it's so expensive, and I've already owned a lot of it, at least half of it on DVD, because that was so much cheaper at the time, even though I don't like buying DVDs. But Bleach is one of those shows that I like so much that I was actually willing to buy it, because it's just a fun show, super dramatic. I kind of feel the same way about One Piece, but I'm sorry guys, I can't get into Naruto. I know there must be people watching this that are like Naruto. I don't like it. I've tried, but it's too childish in my opinion. And I think I would feel the exact same way about Dragon Ball if I hadn't have grown up with it. And that's one of the reasons I will always defend Dragon Ball. Yes, it's bad. Yes, there's so much potential there that they never really live up to. But Dragon Ball is something that I grew up with, and it's something that I will always defend. I didn't grow up with Naruto. I didn't like Naruto when I was younger, so it's harder for me to get into it than it is for people who actually grew up with the anime, who grew up with the manga, who see those flaws, but there's something innate in them that's like, oh, this just like brings me back to my childhood when I watch it. That's one of the reasons I love it. That's everyone I've talked to who likes Naruto has that same experience, and I think that that's just indicative of like the fandom of it, instead of like the actual reliance on it being a good show and actually a fun watch. But that's just me. I know that's harsh to a lot of people. It's a bitter pill to swallow, but that's really what I think, and I cannot express it heavily enough. Bleach and One Piece do not have that problem. They're really fun shows, and I actually really like them. I think they're easy to jump into. Naruto really does take some time. It takes 50 episodes to get interesting in the very least, and that's a lot. So, I mean, to each his own, though. Oh my gosh. I get so far behind. I'm sorry, guys. Greetings from Houston, Texas. Greetings. Oh, Janemba's my favorite villain. Yes, Janemba's a good villain. Can't believe how far behind I am on this. I would have loved that the Demon Realm would be one of the main plot points in Boo arc, trying to take over Earth than the world. Yeah, I mean, everything about Janemba and everything about Janemba and what Boo was and what Boo could have been would have been really much more interesting if it was a much more interesting villain. But regardless, like I said, there's a lot of really interesting stuff that they did in this series during the Boo arc that I really like and I appreciate and I still enjoy. But same thing with my Naruto argument. It's really a lot of nostalgia. I mean, it just tugs at the heartstrings because it's nostalgia and it's stuff that like I kind of understand where it was coming from more than what I did when I was younger. That's, to me, is a big issue about all that. And one of the reasons it's so hard for me to actually separate the two, and I think it's hard for everyone to separate the two. Sorry. I've been doing this for a long time. Let me just grab a drink. I'm not going away. Like I literally have had like a couple of drinks right next to me. I've just been talking this entire time, and I can't actually take a minute to actually take a sip and recharge my batteries for just a second. But give me 1 second. Okay. I was told there would be bread. I was told there would be bread here. For anyone who doesn't know what that joke is, I did a live stream like a year ago. Was it a year? No, it was like half a year ago or something, where I was like, I accidentally, instead of putting beard, I put bread in the title, and everyone harped on me for bread. So that's fun. I know Blake said, Claire, you've been around for a while. I appreciate that, man. I really do. I heard there won't be. I heard there won't be no hybrids in the third film. I think it's smart move, which is I heard there won't be any hybrids in the third film. I think it's a smart move as much as I like the concept of hybrid dinosaurs, like the Endorus or Indomitor. Uh, no, I agree. I think the setup for the third film of the Jurassic World franchise is really good, and I can't wait to see if they actually deliver on it. And we're just gonna have to wait and see. Uh, they don't need hybrids. They don't need anything. They just need to. Disrupt the status quo of having the opportunity to get off the island and really distribute the power system between dinosaurs and human beings. I mean, it really makes no sense. There's not a lot of dinosaurs there. The human beings would be able to take them out pretty easily, especially with how much noise they would make. But let's just suspend our disbelief and allow ourselves to believe that the dinosaurs getting out in the mainland would actually destroy our entire ecosystem and our entire way of life, and we wouldn't be able to cope with it. But the third one opens up a couple years later where we're actually coping with it instead of having already killed all of them to extinction, because we definitely could without any harm or issue. Let's just wait and see. It's gonna be interesting. I'm really interested in the third film. Guys, if you're expecting a comment, you should drop a like. That's like courtesy. I would appreciate a like. That's not a problem. I keep saying, guys, I'm really trying my best to get to all the comments before I actually leave here, and that's one of my main goals every time I do a stream, but it gets ahead of me. There's multiple interesting questions and situations I would like to talk about, but sometimes it's just, I ramble a lot, and I hope the people who stay around and actually get their questions answered are people who appreciate that and really like that, want to hear more of that. But after a while my brain starts to go, because if you talk kind of constantly for an hour or more, it starts to get a little bit harder to come up with what words to say. What if I tell you the reason Frieza got revived in the second movie is because Frieza's army split? One group is led by Paragus and the other one who wanted Frieza revived. Does that make sense? I like that idea. I like that idea a whole lot, and something I hadn't actually thought about before, but I really like that idea, and we're just going to have to wait and see. And it would actually make a lot of sense considering the character bios for various characters like Blueberry and other people who've been around since the Lord of Frieza days, and Frieza's indirect comments or direct real comments that the Frieza Force was completely done besides Sorbet. So what if these people were actually working under King Cold instead of Frieza, and Frieza just comes in and is like, hey, you can work around me now, and we'll work together because y'all worked with my father, or something else like that. I like that idea a lot, actually. We're gonna have to wait and see, but that would actually make me excited. SS77, that's a good one. I really appreciate and like that one. I would be excited to see that in the movie, because it would make a lot of sense to me. I disagree. I actually enjoyed hearing your thoughts and answers for our questions. All right. That's great, man. I appreciate that. Do you watch My Hero Academia? I do. MJ. Every time I'm on the phone with MJ always bitches at me about this. I do watch My Hero Academia, but my preferred method of watching content, and I know this is really weird for a lot of people, especially in this day and age, but my preferred method is to buy it on Blu-ray. I love watching. It's my preferred method. I don't know why. It's better quality. It's just amazing to sit there, put a disc in, and push play all. The problem is that it's a very expensive habit, and I can only buy so much. And anime is just so expensive at any given point that I have not watched season 2 yet. It just came out. Both parts are out, but they were like $40 each, and I just can't spare the money right now. So I will watch it eventually. Once I see a really good deal, I will actually buy them and watch them. The same thing with season 3, unless I just feel so compelled after season 2. I didn't feel so compelled after season 1. I have my problems with it, but it's still a good show, and I can't wait to see where they take it. It's a really good show at this point, though. Sure thing. I love your theories. a sure thing. I love your theories. You bring some of the most insightful and well thought out theories. I bring nonsense. To be fair, like the thing is like I don't consider what I do like. I consider what I do like more of a discussion based thing. It's like, oh, what if this is possible? What if this is possible? I know a lot of people actually get mad at that because they don't think I held any like real opinions about Dragon Ball or anything. They like, oh, this guy just talks about everything. But that's the best thing in my opinion. It's one of the things I've actually loved doing my entire life is whatever comes to mind, like whatever's possible, you talk about it in a really genuine way, and you put yourself out there and you try to like come up with like the best possible scenario if this happens to be true or this happens to be true or something else like that, and you discuss all possible aspects. Dragon Ball's the same way, my channel's the same way. Like I have one theory going one way, another theory going the other way or whatever, and it's just more fun to talk about than it is to be beholden to one theory or another, regardless of whether that theory blows up or people get really attached to it or one way or the other. It's all about the discussion. It's all about opening yourself up to the possibility of what could happen than simply just, throwing it to the wind and not really caring one way or the other, or being so defensive about your theory. My theory is right. I'm going to fight for this. Like, you're just going to make enemies that way. And that's really what my channel is just, let's just discuss this. Let's have fun. Let's not really like worry too much about whether we're right or wrong so much as, if it makes you excited for the next iteration of Dragon Ball or the next movie or series or manga chapter or whatever it is, then it's worth it in my opinion. I think that's the best part about being part of a fandom is seeing like-minded individuals who want to talk about the same thing that you do, regardless of whether it's inconsistent. So, yeah, I really appreciate people who appreciate the stuff I put out there. But there's nothing overly special to it, and I don't think it's insightful. I think it's fun. I think it's fun to kind of find connecting plot threads or stuff that they can pick up and try to explore or expand upon. I don't think it's going to be right all the time. I think they make decisions that are wrong most of the time, really. Like, oh, there might have been a better way to actually do that I talked about in the past or something like that. But it's not really that big of a deal one way or the other. Oh my god. Talking. Okay. What fight from the Tournament of Power that isn't Universe 6, 7, or 11 do you think was wasted potential? Was it amongst those universes? Or characters revolving around this? I mean, God, there's so many. I've done videos about this, and I need to do more about what fights that should have happened. Oh man, I'm not sure, man. Like off the top of my head, I would have really liked to see what the manga has hinted at and did already. I'm not sure. The Kefla versus Aniraza fight, if that's his name, I can't remember. That would have been awesome. Anything regarding Jiren or Topo fighting any other person in the universe, in the multiverse besides people in Universe 7 would have been awesome. Anyone in Universe 6 fighting anyone else. I mean, just like, actually the Tournament of Power being more battle royale than what it actually was, being more of what they promised than it actually was, would have been epic and would have been definitely worth it. But they didn't give us that. They didn't do that. And that's frustrating and not something that I actually like. And I wish that they would have done differently, but they didn't. And I mean, we can't have it any other way. Who would you like to see in the Broly movie from another universe, Topa arc besides Universe 6 Saiyans? For me, the universe helping Goku and Co. as helping Goku and Co. Thank you as saving the universe will be great. The other universe is helping. Like I said, I don't know. Like the Pride Troopers would be kind of fun. I really like the Pride Troopers. I would like to really reintroduce them and figure out a different way to to put them in the story, but that's not going to happen anytime soon, really. I feel like Dragon Ball series is going under because all of the coolest characters are non-canon. I mean, they're gonna reintroduce all the characters. I think. I really think, and this could just be me, but I really think that they're gonna reintroduce all the characters that are non-canon that are very popular to the fandom. Janemba and Cooler and all these other characters are gonna be reinterpreted in one way or the other. Baby might even be as well, and the Shadow Dragons, because I mean, it's just easier for them. It's a way of getting hype from the fan base who wants to see this scenario, this character done right. And this is our chance to do that. And it's going to be an interesting selling point rather than just creating new characters or new stories that are going to drive the franchise going forward. But with that being said, I don't think it's going to go out of style anytime soon. Dragon Ball is bigger than anything right now, and it's going to continue to be as such, especially with this movie coming out and whatever iteration of the story they're going to do next, really. So we're just gonna have to wait and see. Let's see. I know you don't like the manga, but I think Broly will Kaba theorize. Wait, I think Broly will Kaba theorize what Kale is in the manga, which is the legendary Super Saiyan that's every 1,000 years. Maybe. I mean, maybe. So that's what Vegeta said, and it's, I mean, they could be anything they want, but really Goku was the Super Saiyan legend, really, and then Vegeta was, and then it's stupid. Like, it's stupid to make that point, because I mean, what is a legendary Super Saiyan other than a form that they just simply decide is the form that the legendary Super Saiyan is? Like, Goku was the legendary Super Saiyan. He was. You can't just make another form later down the line and say, oh yeah, this was actually it, you know? So I don't think they're going to call it the legendary Super Saiyan form in the movie. I think it's going to be its own thing. Or just a Super Saiyan form, maybe. Jiren overpowering time. I never understood it. If they wanted, they could have said that Hit has a limit to utilize time, or 1 second time where the time skip opens up, so we could have had Jiren attack him. Yeah, nothing about Jiren and the time and anything else anything else like that actually makes sense. So I mean, Jiren overcoming time was silly. It was really a BA moment that I think is pretty cool for the series, but really it wasn't anything too special. YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain. Oh, well, it's back on. I hope that didn't interrupt a lot, guys. I was reading, it was telling me that it was not receiving information enough to actually put out the stream, but hopefully it's fixed itself. Man, I wish I could see some of these theories come to reality. I would like to as well, but we'll just have to wait and see. From new info we got on Super Saiyan Blue Evolution, do you think that Vegeta will put out any advanced upgrade version of SSB Evolved, similar to Kaioken times 10 times 20 in the movie? Maybe? I mean, I like the idea of Vegeta being able to get some kind of Kaioken equivalent, considering the first time he actually went up against Goku, he said that he understood what it was, and he knew people who had the same kind of equivalent, and it would give Vegeta a chance to be on Goku's level. So I think it would be interesting and a good idea for them to establish that, but I mean, they don't have to. It's one of those things that could just kind of come out of nowhere and be its own thing that's stronger than Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken in the first place. So he can just simply use it, and Goku can't really match it unless he's using Super Saiyan Blue and Kaioken, because he has Ultra Instinct in his pocket the entire time, or at least if he's pushed hard enough, he has that in his pocket that Vegeta simply can't get and doesn't even want at this point. So it doesn't really matter one way or the other. They could just make Super Saiyan Blue Evolved as strong as they want. It's not really a big issue, in my opinion. Not that there's anything wrong with that pick, but why don't you put like gameplay or something in the background? Well, frankly, I don't have gameplay. I don't really do games very much in my life. anymore. I might for the next one. I sometimes do. I sometimes do these streams that are gameplay related, or you could put something moving in the background, or I put slideshows. Sorry for this, but like this is just gonna be me talking for over an hour. I just imagine most people want to put this on in the background as they do other things, and they just want to listen to it. There's no real video to watch in streams anyway, but I'm sorry for anyone who really wants something to watch while they listen. It's not something I usually go about doing, and it's not something I pre-record like other people in this community with fighters or anything else like that. But I could in the past. I could in the future. I mean, it wouldn't take much effort, and I've been actually thinking about playing fighters a little bit more than I used to, but we're just gonna have to wait and see. Let's see. I would love to have seen Oob have two split personalities, one for himself and another for Evil Boo. That would have been cool. I mean, didn't the whole like Dragon Ball Epsilon thing kind of do that? That was kind of a cool series. I don't even know if it actually finished. I don't know who was involved with that, because that was kind of coming out around the same time Dragon Ball was being revived and before I even had my channel. So it was like a big deal, and then it became like nothing, or no one ever talked about it in the future. But it was a cool concept, especially the idea that the Majin Buu character was kind of locked in Oob, and he was just waiting to be released in order to show his real power. That was that was kind of cool. Let's see. I don't like how they depowered Super Saiyan Blue Evolution Vegeta. They just could have said it was above Kaioken Blue 10 or 20, but not on par above Ultra Instinct, to make everyone happy. I agree with that completely. I like Vegeta's transformation. It should have been on par with Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken. Doesn't have to be on par with Super Saiyan Kaioken times 20 or 10, but it could have just been Vegeta's answer to that transformation in order to make him just as strong as Goku, but we'll just have to wait and see. I mean, I'm not really sure. Thank you, bro, for answering our questions. I appreciate it. Yeah, you're welcome, man. I think both Kale being in the Tournament of Power with her Berserk form and Broly being in the main antagonist of the movie is sort of their way of connecting the Topo arc to the movie. I mean, I think the Topo arc and bringing up the Topo arc is a way of actually, or Topo arc, the Tournament of Power arc is a way of actually bridging the gap. Goku's definitely looking for the next challenge after that arc. In the trailer, it's mentioned pretty quickly into the trailer, so that's going to be definitely the connection there. Oh, I thought you played Dokkan. I don't play Dokkan. Well, I do, but I think I recently you know what? Actually, I recently deleted the game. When I first started, I started paying, and then I gave that account to Donnie, and Donnie lost it completely because of some update or something. I don't know, but he lost it completely, and then I tried again. It was never really the same because I stopped paying, and then it just never really got me anywhere, or I didn't really care too much anymore. So I decided to just do my own thing, and I played a little Brave Souls. That game gets really old really quickly, and then it doesn't give you the best pulls in the world, and it has even worse rates than Dokkan, so it wasn't really my favorite situation. I've been thinking about doing the Walking Dead R-World game, but that's kind of more like a Pokemon Go app, and I don't really want to play that myself, so I don't know. I'm not really much of a gamer these days. Even phone games I'm not really into. I might pick up Dokkan sometime in the future, though. It doesn't really hurt at the beginning, especially when they start giving everything for free. I want to know your thoughts on Deku having a stolen quirk. You mean like one for all? Is that it? Is Deku's the main guy in My Hero Academia? I don't really care. Like, my biggest problem with My Hero Academia is the fact that it's established pretty early on that it's Deku, if that is the main antagonist or protagonist in the story, then that's what I'm talking about. But the main guy is like, oh yeah, by the way, this is the story of how I became the greatest hero that the Earth has ever known, and everyone's like, yeah, and it's like really well played, but it kind of pisses me off because that to me makes it a little less dramatic than it needs to be. Like if it was Dragon Ball related or Naruto or something, you know, those things played out in real time. This isn't like someone telling the story about how they became like the greatest person ever. It's just somebody growing up and dealing with the challenges of their life. You know, like there's a, you know that he's there telling the story. And whether he's dying at the end or something, I'm not sure. But he was just telling this story about how he became the greatest hero on Earth with this quirk, and it kind of robs a lot of the drama of it. It robs a lot of the like, oh my gosh, what's gonna happen from this arc to this arc? Yeah, this person could die. Yeah, this person could die, but like our main character is never gonna die. Or is he even telling the truth about any of this? Like, did that person actually die? That was really close. Like, what if he's just kind of embellishing the story or something? Like, that would be an interesting plot twist at the very end. Like, this is my story of how I became a superhero. And by the way, like, I'm not as heroic as I would seem. And actually, like, the story I've told you is a lot of lies. And people did die who I said didn't die. And that's why they became kind of relevant as the story went on or something, you know, like that type of stuff. Like that, to me, that would be really, really interesting at the end, but that's never going to happen because that's not the type of story that is. So I don't know. Not to go in a huge like My Hero Academia rant or incoherent as it may be, but I'm okay with it. I'm okay with him actually stealing a quirk. I'm okay with him having powerful or one for all. But I don't like the idea of him telling the story as if the story that we're learning about from week to week or whenever the manga or anime comes out is actually one that happened for him years in the past, because I think it robs a lot of the story of a lot of dramatic points, because there's going to be points where you think he's going to lose or you think he's going to die or something as the story progresses, but you know, because he's telling you the story and they made that they established that very, very early on that he didn't, unless death doesn't matter in that universe, which I'm not sure if it does because I'm not that far into it, but you can tell me if you know. Anyway, the final battle will either be Vegeta getting Ultra Instinct, which leads into UI Goku and Vegeta versus Broly, or them fusing into Gogeta and either as Super Saiyan Blue or Ultra Instinct. What do you think? I don't think they're going to fuse, and I don't think Ultra Instinct's coming back. I know a lot of people think that Ultra Instinct's coming back, but I think what's going to happen is one of two things. Goku's just going to pull it out of his ass because Goku does that all the time, or Broly's just going to freaking win. And that's going to be the biggest issue, in my opinion. Is that's gonna be the thing that jumps down everyone's throat. Is if Goku just wins, then that's just what happens in every Dragon Ball movie. But if Broly wins, it's gonna be something really interesting and unique and something completely different and going to get us more excited, I think. But Goku will probably win, or Goku and Vegeta and Frieza all teaming up together will probably win, or something like that. Like Goku can't do it alone, so everyone has to gang up together, or Beerus has to step in or something else like that. But I don't think Ultra Instinct's coming back. I know I said I would get to every single comment, but it's 1:30 here and almost an hour and 20 minutes into the stream. So it's definitely harder to get through all these things, especially with how much time I give to every single question. And I also love that they would have explored the mindset of Gohan. My favorite shonen is Hunter x Hunter, also Attack on Titan, in the later form One Punch Man. Have you ever read Bleach? Read the Bleach manga? Yes, I said I read the Bleach manga. I kind of binged through it, and I got to the very end of it. I liked it. It was rushed, but it was nice. The 1,000-Year War arc would be epic to watch in the anime. Yes, it would. I would really like that. Oh my gosh, guys, I'm really trying here. What's your thoughts on Havoc Unbound? I don't know, man. Iconic Jones, yes, it's whack. Vegeta clearly showed he was way better than Jiren than Goku did in Kaioken times 20. Did he go Kaioken times 20 though? I can't remember. Have you ever heard that Yu Hakusho is going to get an OVA? Yes, I did, and I can't wait for it. I can't wait to actually see what they do with it. Yeah, I agree, because from the episode, he achieved it all the way, all the way to him fighting God Topo. It was clearly showing he was improving and getting stronger in the fight. I guess you're talking about Vegeta evolution, which is something I completely agree about. It would have been nice if he was actually stronger than Super Saiyan Goku Kaioken, but we'll just have to wait and see how they actually do that. Probably my favorite anime is Blue Exorcist. If you haven't watched it, I promise you it's great. I've seen the first 2 episodes of Blue Exorcist and I really liked it, but I haven't had the time to actually go back and watch the rest of it. I mean, there's so many animes that I really like that I just haven't had the time for, and that's really the biggest burden and problem, sadness that I have in life. Oh, I really want to watch more anime sometimes, and I just don't have the time. Probably my favorite. Wait, I already read that. Even though I agree that Dragon Ball needs to take risks and do something new instead of rebooting the old ideas, I think that if they do a demon arc, it would be a good way to introduce Janemba as the demon god. I agree with that, and I would really like that, but I also would like to reintroduce Toa and Mira into the main canon of the story. I think that would do them a lot of lip service, and people would be really excited about those characters the same way that they got excited about Broly and all these other Frieza and Trunks and all this other stuff. It's like, oh, this is Toriyama's version of them putting into the main canon of the show or the story or whatever. That would be interesting. So maybe not Janemba, you know. But the person that was giving out the info of Super Saiyan Blue Evolution also said at first they were planning to give Vegeta Ultra Instinct, or at least throw hints at him getting close to it. I mean, it's possible. I don't really know what they're going to do with Ultra Instinct in this movie, but I don't see any of that in the Tournament of Power arc. In fact, he said against that he was going to do it, so we're going to have to wait and see, really. It sucks that your other half, MJ, was streaming at the same time with Danny, LOL. Yeah, MJ is definitely my other half. Love the guy. Peace out. Much love. I actually like the idea of Janemba as a demon god. Me too. I really do like that as well. Man, I enjoy the heck out of Hulu, and there's tons of anime on there. I agree. Hulu has such awesome animes. They kick the shit out of freaking Amazon and Netflix. They're really a lot better than them. And if you, that's the one reason I don't like not having Hulu. But I can only go so far. You know, I can only go so far into owning so many streaming services, and Amazon and Netflix are the ones that make sense to me, but Hulu has great anime. My Hero Academia gets better in season 2 and 3, at least in my opinion. I've heard as much from a lot of other people. Speaking of Naruto, even though I have never watched Naruto, funny weird story, when I was young, dreamt of God telling me, "You want to be like Naruto?" I said no, it's Goku, LOL. That's pretty good. Do you think Doku had a quirk? Do you think that Doku had a quirk? I don't know. Deku. There's a rumor out now that Paragus is King Vegeta's brother and Broly is Vegeta's cousin. What do you think? Could it be the true cause of new Paragus looking like a spitting image of King Vegeta? I would like that too. I would like that. I hadn't actually thought about that. One of the things I did think about, though, my main crazy theory was that because we're going to explore the Saiyan heritage and history and mythology and everything in this movie, that Paragus would tell Broly that they are the main lineage, like they're actually the royal lineage, and King Vegeta stole it from them and was the one who banished them, so that's why they weren't on planet Vegeta at the time of it being destroyed for one reason or another, and that's why Broly has the legendary Super Saiyan in him, and Vegeta was never able to contain it or obtain it. He wasn't actually given it by a birthright because they're not part of that lineage, and doesn't negate Vegeta's claim to fame. I mean, he's still really strong and capable fighter on his own right, but I think that would absolve him of a lot. It would absolve him a lot of his pride too, because even though he's saying yes and he is elite, if he can get rid of the fact that he is actually the lineage of Saiyans that are royalty, maybe he can move on and accept the fact that, it's been a struggle for me, because even though I was stronger than Goku, we were kind of on the same plane. Like, there was nothing overly special about me that there wasn't special about him. So that's why he's always one step ahead of me, and it will allow Vegeta to grow as a character a little bit more, but maybe not. I don't know. We just have to wait and see. It could work either way. I think it could be cousins or something like that. That would work. Alright, guys, I'm going to give this 5 more minutes. I'm going to try my best, alright? Yes, love seeing through other possibilities. I love it. I try to never miss a real stream. Always fun. Thanks, guys. No, I meant fighters. I meant fighter. This isn't the universe that isn't from Universe 6 or 7. Okay, so I don't know. Brianna and some other person. I really liked. I think that they should have given more focus to Universe 4 and Quintella's universe. Maybe having them fight someone from Universe 2 would have been good, because those ones had a lot of potential that we didn't get to see, but were kind of teased a lot, that kind of fell to the wayside. All the other universes were kind of useless. Universe 3 was kind of cool. I would like to see more from them, but we're just going to have to wait. Maybe they'll come back in another thing. Do you think Gogeta will appear? I do not think that Gogeta will appear. I don't think they're doing fusion at all. I thought they were going to do that in the Tournament of Power, and that never actually ended up happening, so I don't think it's going to be there for Gogeta, but we're just going to have to wait and see. What if Paragus and Broly are going around the universe to hunt and kill every remaining Saiyan that has turned their backs on the Saiyan race, either from fear of Frieza having joined his army? That would be cool. I'd like that. That would be give him a reason to actually be pissed off at Vegeta. That's a good idea. I think Cooler is coming back for sure. I think he's coming back for sure too, but it's just a matter of time. I think Cooler has really shown himself to be a real big fan favorite, as crazy as that is to me, because Broly's coming back, and I don't think they're going to miss that, but we'll have to wait and see. They can simply have Turtles and Slug for Universe 6 counterpart to Goku and Piccolo and Super or the future movie. Yeah, but they're not going to do that. That makes a lot more. Like, those characters aren't overly popular. I'm talking about, like, Cooler is popular. Bojack might be popular. Other movie villains are popular, but those ones are really big, and those ones are going to come back. Janemba's popular. Freaking Hirudegarde or Tapion are popular. They're going to figure out a way to bring those characters in, if they're going to bring any of them at all. Slug and Turles are they're not characters that people would want to actually bring back for one reason or another, I don't think. And they're not the people that everyone's been talking about. Cooler, for whatever reason. We've had a lot of Frieza characters, but they're talking about that guy like crazy. So we're not sure. I'm not sure. But honestly, what you bring up sounds more logical. I guess comparing to the real... I guess comparing to the rate of the fandom, I think what stands out is using knowledge, some clues, and evidence to make the theories. I remember some fandom said Goku Black is the evildoer who killed Jiren's family, and who could it be? It's wacky. Yeah, but I mean, I don't think it's like much different. I don't think like those crazy fan theories are much different than what it is that I do. I think that what I do is crazy, yes, and it's ridiculous, it's strange, but I like what I do because it focuses primarily on looking at the series and trying to tie in story elements. People always look at the series and try to tie in things that they want. And I think that's what you're saying. And I think that's one of the reasons people appreciate what I do. I don't think that there's much difference, but because I bring in elements and stuff that I want to happen, but I try to figure out like a logical step for it. But people like, oh, like Trunks is coming back, or there's gonna be evil. There's gonna be evil Goku, or Broly's coming back, or something. Broly will be part of the canon, or something. And he's like, yeah, like somehow ridiculous. Like they were all right, but there was nothing to indicate. Like there's just nothing to jump from and indicate that that's remotely possible or going to happen at all. And it's just dumb luck that you're right. And then you think about like one of the ones I was just so happy with myself, really. This is when I learned my lesson about being tied to theories and what's going to happen. But back during the Champa arc, especially when the manga was ahead of the anime, it showcased in the manga when Toritaro was doing it that the Pilaf gang went with them to watch the tournament, and we didn't know who was going to get the wish or for what reason or anything else like that. Like we thought okay, like Champa and Beerus have this deal amongst them and they're going to get a wish, and Universe 6 looks like a formidable team. I can't wait to see how this plays out. But the idea, the theory there was Champa's going to win, and the stakes are that Universe 7's Earth is going to have to be transported to Universe 6. We didn't know that Beerus was going to bring it back, or anyone would have that just blatant knowledge. I mean, just do that anyway. Not even a big issue. But what I thought, seeing the Pilaf gang there was really fun, because these guys have a history in the franchise for interrupting wishes or just blatantly screaming out whatever they want and getting whatever they want. So I wanted them to save the day by butting in on the wish the same way that was done to them at the very first arc of Dragon Ball. And that was like, oh, this is going to happen. Like, I know this is going to happen. That's why they're there. Like, makes no other sense why they're there or something. And that of course, didn't happen in the manga or the anime, but it was a fun thought. But whatever. You know, it's something that could have happened, didn't happen, and we're just going to have to move on from it. Would have been funny. Oob having Kaioken would have been dope. I think he'll have Kaioken if they bring him into the show, really. Do you play Dragon Ball Legends? I do not play Dragon Ball Legends, actually, unfortunately. But do you think Vegeta will get Ultra Instinct? And I have a feeling that it will be sooner rather than later. Oh, I think Vegeta will get Ultra Instinct. Possibly? I'm not really sure. I don't think so. They make cooler canon by simply having Frieza reference him having a brother, even if his name isn't. Yeah, that's definitely true. I'm free to play Brave Souls player, and although summons aren't the best, I still make it fine. If you were to start Dokkan again, there are three, and again they're in their 3-year, and you get a bunch of stuff for free. Maybe I will. It's just like, I don't know if I'm gonna do it, honestly. I'm not really much of a gamer, like I said, anymore, so I don't really give a whole lot of times to it, but we'll see. Alright, guys. I'm really sorry. I can't... Alright, I'm just gonna plow through these guys. I'm trying to finish this up, alright? Give me 5 minutes. Hey Nova, I recognize you from DB Channel, Hardcore Man. I salute you. Alright, Goku is a god of ass pulling. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Merchandise heavily implies fusion will happen. Go to Kanzenshu, DBS figures, and merchandise. I've seen it, but we'll have to just wait and see. I'm not exactly sure whether fusion's going to happen, but it's possible. You think Gohan will make a big part in the movie? No, I don't think he's going to be in the movie quite at all. I don't think that he's a huge selling point for them right now, which kind of sucks, but maybe he'll be in like any future programming or something, but maybe not. Who knows? Beerus states Goku used his max power. He might have. I'm not necessarily sure, but it's possible. In My Hero Academia, it Deku telling the story. It's mainly focused on the mindset of Deku in the current timeline. I don't know. It comes across as him telling the story from afar, in my opinion. But I could be wrong. I mean, like, I haven't seen a whole lot of the show, so I could be wrong. I think that award should go to Trunks. I don't know what we're talking about. I really like the concept of shadow dragons. Me too, and I think they need to bring it back to Dragon Ball at some point because it's really awesome. What's up, bro? How you doing? I'm good. I've been streaming for over an hour and a half, and I'm getting a little tired. Durgu 2019 Go GG Go is great. Whatever. Wow, the theory of Paragus Broly being the true royalty is one awesome theory. Thank you. Yeah, fair enough. Trunks did out of Goku as an ass pull. Fair enough. Trunks did outdo Goku in ass pulling. Trunks? Yeah, of course. Oh yeah, like in Super, holy crap, Trunks was so much. He was as D-Free kept saying, he was a Xenoverse character. He just knew everybody's moves. It was crazy. I'm still mad it wasn't Gohan Black. Me too. I would have liked Goten Black too, but Gohan Black would have been cool as well. Goku is overused in Super. Well, of course he's the main character. He's definitely going to be. Oh, is this live? Yes, it's live. It's crazy. What have you guys discussed so far? Everything. Oh my gosh, I'm trying to answer all of them as quickly as possible because I want to get through everything, but I don't want to be here all day. So there's another DB there is another DB YouTuber, you may know him. He also makes some interesting theories. I think you guys would make great collabs. Who? At this point, I think any non-canon character has a chance to be canon if they're popular enough, and Toriyama likes the character's concept. I think so too. I think that's a really good point, and I think that's one of the things we need to expect as a fan base going forward. I think we will get a surprise twist with Vegeta in this film. I hope so. I would love for him to be the main guy who actually beats Broly. I think he deserves it. Gosh sakes, the guy never gets a win on anything. Peel Off Gang is necessary though. Bring it back to Dragon Ball. LOL, yes, you're right. Nothing indicated Broly is the main villain of the movie. I get your point. Oh, I'm super late to the chat. My bad. The fact that you need to make headcanon to make sense of the story is stupid. Yeah, but what are you gonna do? It's the way Dragon Ball's always been, really. There's no way for me to be super chat. LOL. I don't do super chats. Not yet. I don't really feel like I deserve them. I don't deserve small little donations. I would appreciate them, of course. I mean, I would take them and I would try to give as much credence to the people who sent them as possible. But no, it's okay for me to just do this and have fun with you guys. Really. We should do a spike before he stops streaming. Oh my god, please don't. How just from this movie, I hope they reboot and make GT along with Super Saiyan 4 to fit into canon with Super. It won't be, they won't do that, but it will be probably, I hope they redo some of the arcs and villains. That would be kind of cool. Morning, Mark. What's up, Mark? Tragic makes theories too. Yeah, he's doing it. Okay, I know Tragic. Morning. Should I say it's way early? I'm sure it's early there. It's late here. I've been doing this for almost 2 hours. Oh my gosh. Not that I hate Frost, but I think Frost not only should have been a good guy, but it would have made him taller, like cooler, and a deeper voice. That way, different from Frieza. Yeah, Frost should have been cooler. Frost should have been like looked like cooler and actually been a good guy. That would have been the better option, in my opinion. I completely agree. Apologize, my English is not my first language. That's totally fine, man. No worries in my opinion. No worries on me. Cool. As Geekdom would say, if there is no canon, it's just all one big story with a couple of spin-offs and one-offs. Yes, Nova Dragon, I second this. Yeah, I completely agree. Canon doesn't make sense, or I don't care about it at all. So, anyway, guys, oh my gosh, we're at an hour and 40 minutes. I hope everyone's having a fantastic day. I hope everyone is. My brain is fried. I'm sorry I didn't get through all of your questions. I'm sure people are gonna keep asking them for a couple minutes, but please know that I'm done. I got to the very end and I saw that it didn't actually keep going, so I'm done. No, guys, but in all honesty, like I really do like doing these. It's so much fun. It's just a cool thought exercise to talk about all these different things that y'all want to discuss, and I'm really glad one of the things that I can do is get to them. I can get to most of the questions and actually answer them. I hope you guys appreciate that, because these are so small and the comments are so light, you know, I can get through them. But guys, I hope I can stream to answer Nova's question on here. I hope I can stream more in the future, probably once a week, hopefully sometime in the weekend, but it depends on what I'm doing and what my personal life allows. So hope everyone's having a fantastic night or morning or wherever it is for you. I will talk to y'all later. Like I said at the very beginning of this video, I did a video with Carthu that will probably be up tomorrow or Monday, and y'all need to watch that. It was a very long video. It was really fun about whether or not Dragon Ball Super movie Broly will actually end in a cliffhanger, and we got through a lot of awesome points and theories about where it could end and how it could set up another movie or something else like that. So hope everyone is having a fantastic day. It has been super real. Bye.